the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now at 6, covering the entire DMV. A violent weekend, the string of shootings leaving several people dead in DC, others hurt, plus stabbing calls overnight and into today. A live report from the field. And capping costs, the effort in Virginia to combat prescription drug prices. Plus, we're stretching your dollar, the free cash available for consumers after major court settlements. Hurry, deadlines are coming. And Beyonce is back. The pop superstar dazzling fans for night 2 at FedEx Field tonight. How to get there and safely return home. Good evening and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Ben Dennis. Happening right now, a flood watch is in effect across the DMV starting tonight and going into early Monday morning. That's why meteorologist Scott Sumner standing by, taking a closer look. Scott, I know you're identifying some showers out there on our radar right now.
That's right. I want to tackle that first here, Ben. Let's move on over to the monitor here because I do have some stuff to talk about. Right now, Yorkshire is seeing impacts of this heavy line of rain. Centerville, Chantilly, Fairfax, Oakton, all the way down to Reston between now and 6:30. So let's put this into motion. It's moving to the northeast at about 20 to 30 miles an hour. You can see the line here elongating, kind of bowing out a little bit. Looking at some of the video out there, live traffic cams, etc. You see the tops of trees wavering at the very tops of them. And of course, this is going to be moving on through here over the next half an hour to 45 minutes. Already seeing wind speeds out ahead of it, a velocity about 20 to 30 or 32 miles an hour. It even had a little bit of hail. I've circled this right here. This started it. Now it's moving a little bit further to the north of Manassas. So we see a little bit of hail as well as some gusty winds with this line that will be moving through the district. And as we talked about, this is a flood watch that will run through, start at 8 o'clock, but will run through till 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, this is just round one of what could be a volatile after day of storms here. After tonight, we have a weather warn day for Monday, mostly sunny on Wednesday, and more storms even on Thursday. We'll break it all down, especially tomorrow's forecast, very, very closely, coming up in just a few minutes.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Scott. It has been a deadly weekend in D.C. 7 people lost their lives in shootings since Friday, and nearly half of them died in a shooting last night in Southeast D.C. Images right here. That's where our Dave Laval is joining us live. Dave, tell us more a little bit about this ongoing investigation, and you've heard from people who live in the area.
Well, hey, Ben, what we can tell you is D.C. police are out in force, including Acting Chief Pamela Smith. She just met with the family of one of those killed last night here at the corner of 16th Street Southeast and Good Hope Road. This is where the shootings took place, and we got our first look at some of the devastation. Broken glass lies outside the Union convenience store. That, said the manager, is from the glass door shattered by bullets. D.C. police, as we said, have also stepped up their presence. Roughly 7 dozen shots were fired around 8 o'clock last night. When they stopped, as we said, 3 people died, 2 others wounded. Most people we talked to this afternoon did not want to go on camera. However, one person did, but asked we not show her face. She called for an end to all the violence.
Come on, we have to get together and stop this. We have to help the police now. Enough is enough of this. Enough is enough.
D.C. police are asking for the public's help in finding the persons responsible. Saturday was especially violent around the district as 2 people died in another shooting, this time in Adams Morgan. Coming up at 9 o'clock, D.C.'s acting police chief Pamela Smith will share her thoughts about all this recent violence. We're live in Anacostia. Dave Laval, D.C. News Now.
Thanks to Dave for that reporting. New details out of Prince George's County. We just told you about a shooting between 2 people over an allegedly stolen vehicle. That news came last night. But now we know that the incident happened between a man and a 17-year-old. Prince George's County police say that the man located the Jeep on Margarita Avenue, you see on your screen, where he confronted the teen and 2 other passengers. The man and the teen got into an argument, saying that the vehicle was stolen from a family member. And both the teen and the man were armed. The situation escalated until the man had shot the teen. The man stayed on the scene while the passengers fled. Police say the teen is facing multiple handgun charges and he's charged with vehicular theft. And of the district, D.C. police tell us that the alleged shooter in Saturday's homicide on U Street in Northwest has been taken into custody. They say 20-year-old David Botchway of Gwynn Oak, Maryland, has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of 19-year-old Andre Baker of Southeast D.C. Stay with us for that story. A new end to our newsroom. Maryland State Police tell us that somebody was killed on I-70 yesterday in a fiery crash involving 3 vehicles in Frederick. Troopers say they arrived at the scene just before noon, and a sedan was heading east, drove across the grassy median into oncoming traffic, and hit another car and a pickup truck. The driver of the sedan had died on site, while the driver of the car that crossed the median was ejected and sent to shock trauma. The pickup truck driver, we're told, was also sent to the hospital. Westbound I-70 right there was reopened around 5:30, and the investigation is ongoing. And in Virginia, many lower-income earners in the Commonwealth could soon see relief on their power bills. Dominion Energy is capping rates for utilities. Haley Milon breaks down who can expect to see some savings.
There's a couple moving pieces here. Dominion Energy says that they cut costs for everyone across the board. But for the low-income program, they're funding it with a 79-cent surcharge that'll show up on everyone else's bill. Now, folks on fixed income tell me that this is a huge relief.
Bills are high.
But some welcomed relief on power bills, at least. The General Assembly mandating the Percentage of Income Payment Program, or PIP, shielding customers making up to 150% of the federal poverty level.
I think it's an excellent idea because we need a break somewhere.
The State Corporation Commission just gave a green light to Dominion Energy's plan to surcharge other customers 79 cents per billing cycle to fund the program. Dominion spokeswoman Peggy Fox says since July 1st, everyone's seeing cuts to their bills. The company eliminating 3 standalone charges and lowering fuel costs, bringing the average power bill down to $125 a month, an average savings of $14.
That's 20% lower than the national average, 39% lower than the East Coast average.
Fox says that customers in PIP should still be able to participate in other bill relief programs, and struggling customers should reach out.
We don't know if people are struggling. We can do our best to work with them.
But with this new plan, a question arises. Will PIP customers overuse energy if they're not footing the bill?
We know human nature. People are going to, use excess. They're going to do excess.
I talked to a bunch of customers who won't qualify for PIP. They say they just won't even notice that 79-cent surcharge. However, they're also not noticing that savings that Dominion claimed customers are seeing, mostly because they say they use so much more energy in the summer months. In Arlington, I'm Haley Milon, DC News Now.
Meantime, people living in one D.C. neighborhood say that they've been breathing in toxic air for decades. They're now calling for the city to step in and help. Residents say those toxins are coming from a building that for decades has been manufacturing sealants for the U.S. Navy. Neighbors say in all that time, chemicals from the site have been poisoning them. Marielle Carbone has more.
In this small D.C. neighborhood, a heavy smell lingers in the air.
And the odor is strong. At this point, when I go by there and smell it, I get nauseous.
Sabrina Rhodes lives in Ivy City, a historically black neighborhood. It's also where National Engineering Products Incorporated operates, manufacturing sealants.
They're using some very ugly chemicals that causes cancer.
Neighbors want to see that stop.
We urge you to shut down your facility.
They wrote this letter to the company and are calling on the district to shut down the facility due to health concerns.
We've lost a lot of residents to cancer. We are finding out that a lot of residents are dealing with migraines.
They also say the company is operating without an air pollution permit. That's a permit the district issues to ensure facilities are meeting air quality laws.
They're not regulating this place, and it's killing us.
The city is investigating. It commissioned and released this study in February, which detected elevated formaldehyde levels, a chemical linked to cancer, in the air directly downwind and to the east of the facility. We reached out to the company, which declined an interview, but in an email it said NEPI is in full compliance with all DC regulations. The email also stated when the company found out it needed an air pollution permit, we began our work with both the Department of Energy and the Environment and the regional EPA.
Own up to it. They need to own up to it, which they're not.
Again, Mario Carbone reporting. Well, NEPI tells us that it fully cooperated with DC on the study that was just mentioned. It says monthly blanket testing of all of Ivy City will be done August through December, and they'll look at multiple facilities in the area, including a distillery and auto dealer. Once complete, that'll be made public. And in today's Tech Talk, most students are enjoying a light load for the last few weeks of summer. But one high school student in Loudoun County, Virginia, is running a tech company, a CEO, still in high school. Our Annalisa Gale reports the innovation could help future generations by teaching artificial intelligence.
I go to the Academies of Loudoun. I do a pathway there called AET, the Academy of Engineering and Technology. And I'm focused in the entrepreneurship and IT pathway.
At 17 years old, Dylan Ott isn't your average high school student.
I play varsity soccer at Briarwoods High School too.
And off the field, he's scoring points in the classroom and beyond. After learning about the importance of internships and talking to friends interested in learning more about technology, Ott wanted to answer this question for his peers.
If I'm a high schooler and I want to make a passion project, but I have no clue where to start, what can I do?
And his answer is his company called Navarro, which launched early this year.
So we teach you how to code. We teach you what you should be doing.
In September, Ott and his team will offer a free 8-week program to other high school students interested in making artificial intelligence applications, essentially an incubator program.
When I talked to Dylan and the team for the first time, I was honestly just so inspired by not only how dedicated they were to just helping, like us learn, but just like fix the income inequality gap that exists today.
Freedom High School rising senior Ishika Vij is interning with the young CEO this summer.
Prior to this, I wasn't as interested in tech, but what this has really taught me is that generative AI is going to be a tool that everyone needs to learn.
Our goal is we want to give these opportunities to as many people as humanly possible and from any background.
Annalisa Gale, DC News Now.